All right, let's hear from Tucker Kraft on more important things than Rocky Balboa. Let's start with him discussing a potential extension. Rob Domofsky of ESPN.com asked him about a potential extension. Here is how that exchange went.
Chuck, you're probably one of the next guys in the obvious line of contract extensions. Is that something you want to get done before you're back on the field, or are you okay waiting into the season? How do you approach that?
I'd say my goal is I want to play for this organization my entire career. I'm spoiled to have been drafted here, and this is all I know. Green and gold is all I know. So we'd like to keep it that way. And my agent and the Packers front office, they're going to be in those talks in time when it comes. You know, you guys will find out eventually. So.
Now, he also later was asked specifically if there have been ongoing contract extensions and if those are occurring right now, which I believe they are, but that's not exactly what he said. Here is how Tucker Kraft responded to that question.
You know, there's certain information I'm not allowed to divulge at this point, so you could do with that comment what you will.
Well, what are you going to do
Tausch,
with it, if you will? What are you going to do with that information, if you will?
I believe that there are ongoing conversations already, and that the goal for him, because I thought the most interesting thing he said, other than the Rocky thing, and we'll get to his plan for the return to the field, but it was that he believed that he was the best tight end in football at the time of his injury. He was TE1. And what does that mean? That means I think he wants to be paid as TE1. Not only does he not want to miss any time, but I think it is pretty clear, at least based on how he addressed it, that he will start camp on the PUP list, which means he can't practice, which also means that they can continue negotiating to make sure that a deal is done before he actually starts practicing. That is my read on the situation. I don't think it's acrimonious at all, but the average that he would be looking for per season, which would put him at number one. First, George Kittle is at $19.1 million per year. He got $35 million guaranteed on his existing deal. Trey McBride of the Cardinals is at $19 million, but he got $43 million guaranteed. So I would think something that surpasses Trey McBride, which will then most likely be surpassed by the next tight end. But I think Tucker Kraft will be the highest paid tight end in football once he signs that deal, whether it's in late July, early August, whatever it ends up being.
I agree. This one to me seems super easy because Tucker wants to be there. It's not going to be it's going to be a big boy contract, but it'll be structured the way the Green Bay Packers want it structured, with the injury and everything else. So how much guarantee is going to be in that deal? It will be I'll say it'll definitely be a much larger percentage than what Christian Watson got, but I also think Tucker will be the highest paid tight end, and someone will surpass him rather quickly as far as whether it's Bowers or I don't even know what other tight ends are coming down the pipe. Yeah. But Tucker Kraft is somebody, and Goody has been very clear. I think his actions will match his words as far as how that goes, and Tucker Kraft is going to be a Green Bay Packer for a long time, and he'll be the highest paid tight end in the NFL when that deal gets done. And then I would guess in 2 or 3 years he won't be, but he is going to be delivering, as long as he stays healthy, he's going to be delivering everything Packer fans are going to want. So this is one of those, usually there's question marks. I think with Keyshawn there's questions about all of the other things. Obviously Tucker blowing his knee out last year, not ideal, but I think he's been so good, and he is right, in my opinion as well, that he was, if not the best tight end in the league last year and he got hurt, one of. and he is going to be paid that way, and he will be paid that way before he steps on the Packers training camp field in full pads. I feel fairly confident that those things will all happen.
All right, one last thing I want to play from him before I head down to Matt LaFleur speaking outside of practice is the timeline for his return to game action and what he wants it to look like when he does get cleared for game action. Here is Tucker Kraft on his vision for that.
They don't really want us talking about our injuries and stuff, but that with how I feel, I would say I'm going to get all the conditioning I need in camp to start week 1 on no pitch count.
Start week 1 on no pitch count. Open the season September 13th at Minnesota at US Bank Stadium on WISC TV3 on television. You believe that he'll be no limitations whatsoever? And is that good, bad, indifferent?
That's good. It's not bad, and I'm not indifferent about it. Yeah, all of those things.
You don't have any concern. If they run 70 snaps and he plays 66 of them, there's no concern there for you.
None.
Okay, good. And
he's not going to go back out on the field if he's not cleared. And he's already got his plan. I mean, he told you the plan. He's going to be on PUP. He's going to work his butt off. They'll probably let him start doing some football stuff 2 weeks before the season. He won't play in any preseason games, and they're going to let him rip. Now, if there's some swelling and some things that flare up, obviously you have to adjust and change the play. But if he feels like he does now and he's practicing and he's going along, he's just not going to be one of those guys. He's not a low snap count guy.
No,
he's going to be a high snap count guy.
Yep.
And the team is better when he's out on the field. So let it rip, TK. Let it rip.
We will see how that plays out. Tausch and Jess are going to take over while I hear what Matt LaFleur has to say. I want to remind you that if you're a Wisconsin sports fan, a unique opportunity is coming up on June 16th. That's next Tuesday. ESPN Madison is launching Beyond the Game on Tuesday, June 16th at 6 p.m. at One Social Food Hall in Madison. ESPN Madison is bringing together some of the most successful Division I coaches in Wisconsin for a unique free conversation about coaching, leadership, and the moments that fans don't always get to see. Hear from Badgers women's basketball coach Robin Pingeton, Milwaukee Panthers baseball coach Sean Wagner, and Badgers women's hockey coach Mark Johnson. Stories, insights, and perspectives from inside the profession, and the chance to ask your own questions during a fan Q&A. The event is completely free, so reserve your spot now at beyondthegamemadison.com. That's beyondthegamemadison.com. We'll see you beyond the game. I will see you from Packers practice. More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.